Today's video is all about an update on the Redfoot tortoises, so stick around. My name is Nick Pulaski. Growing up, I have always had a passion for wildlife, and with that passion, along with my passion of filmmaking, I get taken on some amazing adventures creating wildlife content, getting up close with a variety of incredible animals. So come follow along as I pursue my goals of educating, inspiring, exploring, and conserving wildlife, all while having fun, seeing the beauty in our natural world. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for joining me here today. So we are at the lower level here of my reptile room, and these are the Redfoot tortoise enclosures right here. So over here is Daisy's side of the enclosure. She's kind of hiding in the corner right now just after her bath. The little ones right here are just finishing up their baths right now before they get some food. So we are right here with them, and then we have their side right over here as well too. Today's basically just going to be a day of Redfoot tortoises and Redfoot tortoise updates. So we have 4 Redfoot tortoises in total, and it started just a few years ago with just the one, and I've always had a interest in tortoises and turtles. It really kind of evolved when I found Kim Kennan's channel. Shout out to you, Ken and Harkin. It kind of grew from there, really. I mean, I just was kind of like infatuated and just kind of very interested seeing how these tortoises interacted with him, and like how they came directly up to him when they saw him. They heard his voice, they wanted to come up, they wanted some food and some attention. So just was a really cool thing and really rewarding to see. Seeing it for myself firsthand after having these guys for some years now, it's incredible to see. It really is. I mean, you wouldn't realize it at first, but I mean, these guys are really, really cool. And I'm already seeing Daisy. She's already making her way out right now. She may even smell the food that we have right now. And these guys have incredible senses of smell. Wait till you see. In fact, let's put her food dish. So what's on the menu today, you might ask? This is a dish of collard greens. Missouri tortoise diet is underneath here. We have some watermelon, we have some diced up carrots, and then it's topped off with some bee pollen, some multivitamin, and some calcium. Not too bad, I would say. I think he's eating a better dinner than I am, to be honest with you. But let's give Daisy her dish right there. Like I said, she's gonna smell it. She's coming out right now. She's making her way. She likes to burrow over there. She's found out that that's her new corner. I mean, she also has a hide box over here with some sphagnum in it. She's discovered that this is her new corner. In fact, we have the misters right now, or I should say foggers. Let's kick those on. So these come on about twice a day, but we can fire these up right now. So you can see the fog is already coming out of both sides. It's kind of leaking on that one over there up top, but you're going to see a nice dense fog come out on these guys over here. Kind of entices them a little bit more, but she's making her way slowly but surely. She kind of parks herself in that corner, which is really, really cool. A little bit about these guys. So these guys are like a medium-sized tortoise. These are the babies right here. So these are about, this guy right here is probably, I would say, I don't know, about 6 months, 8 months old. And then we have some other ones over here that are about a year old. A little bit over. Let's grab this guy. Yeah, so we have this guy right here. So these guys do grow at a medium range, I would say. Shoot up in size pretty quick at some point. So these guys are definitely going through their growth spurt after a year old, I would say. These guys kind of shoot up like weeds. So they definitely are, that's for sure. And I can't wait for years down the line when these guys are finally integrated with Daisy and I just have a whole group of tortoises, a whole herd of them all together. That's going to be super, super cool. But we're going to put these guys away right here. And we're just going to drop them. Come here, guys. All around the tortoise enclosure. Let them do their thing. Like so. And you can already see Daisy right now. She's making her way over to the food. We'll kind of watch her for a second. But yeah, like I said, these guys are a medium-sized tortoise. Daisy is about, I would say, man, I think she is about 3.5, 4 years old offhand. Straight to the watermelon. She knows what she likes. But these guys get a varied diet of fruits, vegetables, and occasionally also protein as well too, which is either insects, sometimes tuna, chicken they love, and just really nice natural meats for these guys. These guys will occasionally find meats and they will take advantage of it and just kind of gnaw on a carcass or something like that. These guys do come from South America, northern South America, so these guys do love a humid environment. So the mist, as you can see, just kind of trails over the enclosures, which I love about these enclosures. These guys are probably wondering, where's our food bowl? So let me grab that for these guys right now. But yeah, I mean, they are just super interactive. Like I said, I mean, these guys are just awesome to work with. These guys will kind of figure it out in a second here, and they'll kind of migrate over to the food bowl. But I just love this tortoise species. Honestly, I mean, they are super interactive. Like I said, they're really smart. They recognize faces. They recognize voices. It's really incredible. These guys already are turning around. They found the food. So these guys are not shy to a meal, that's for sure. And these guys are great because at least mine are not aggressive towards one another when it comes to food or territorial. These guys get along all pretty great. So we will occasionally have one that bowl hogs, and they'll just kind of lay on top of the whole entire bowl. But that's nothing too major. Here comes the little one right now charging up. And they all have big appetites. And by the time that they finish this meal, I mean, it's going to be completely gone. That's for sure. Daisy will maybe leave a little bit of leftovers, but between the three of these guys, they will clean that plate, that's for sure. So they will go to town on a nice, happy, yummy meal, that's for sure. They love their fruits and veggies. But yeah, like I said, these guys are a mid-range size tortoise, so these guys probably will max out about 20 pounds. These guys are like a perfect mid-sized tortoise, I would say, if you can take care of a mid-sized tortoise, because it is a long-term commitment, that's for sure. I mean, these guys can live between 50 plus years. I mean, some live into their 80s and beyond, so it's a big commitment with the tortoise and a turtle. These guys do live a very long time. But I am confident that this is a species, and tortoises in general are something that I would love to keep my entire life. I mean, these guys are just so rewarding, and I just love them to death, that's for sure. Just watching these guys. Where are you going, little one? I mean, they just kind of do their own thing, which is super, super cool too. I mean, look at them. He's just kind of running off. They just kind of venture around, and you can see that my terrain in here is not flat. So these guys are all terrain vehicles, and you can see he's just using all of his front and back legs to move around, and he is getting around perfectly. He's not dragging his back legs or anything like that. He's standing proud and loud. He's kind of sensing around. He's enjoying the mist. He's just looking around. He's a happy little tortoise, that's for sure. But yeah, these guys just will move all about their enclosure, utilizing all the space necessary. And then once these guys do grow up and develop even more, we may even have a new enclosure for these guys. But if the time comes, we can knock down this wall right here, and we can make this 8-foot enclosure totally accessible for both sides of these guys. It's getting pretty misty in here. We'll turn this off right now because they're going to turn this back on later tonight. All the timers are all set up right here on this enclosure. Definitely go check out that video if you haven't already of me building this enclosure. This was a really cool build. This past summer was building this enclosure. I loved building this enclosure because this species was definitely something that I really wanted to invest in and work with, and I'm glad that I did because it has paid off tremendously. It's just such a rewarding thing. I love the setup, and I just love seeing how these tortoises interact with their enclosure ever since doing this as well too. It's really interesting too because I will see Daisy on this side of the enclosure go up to this wall, and I will see sometimes the other tortoises just kind of chill on the other side of the wall, exactly where she is on the opposite side. And I don't know how they communicate. Maybe you guys know in the comments, let me know. But just seeing them just kind of sit there for hours, just kind of staring at the wall. I feel as though they do know that they are on opposite ends of that wall and they're communicating. So if you guys know of any information about that, I would love to know that because I just find it so interesting that they do that. So super cool to see. I'm super confident that once these guys get up to size, they will match well and mesh well with Daisy, that's for sure. Now Daisy, we are calling her Daisy, and we aren't confident that she is a girl, but I mean, I'd say we're pretty confident. I mean, especially at her age now. But I mean, you normally don't know the sex of a tortoise until they're about at least 5 years of age. So we're coming up on that age for her, but we don't know exactly yet. Look at her, she's using those front claws on those pads of her feet to rip apart the collard greens, and they do that, and they have some sharp nails, that's for sure, let me tell you. So they can rip apart a carcass, they can rip apart at any vegetation or anything and get to what they want. So it's pretty cool to see that, as well as they are great diggers as well too when they're laying their nests as well. So super cool to see that as well too. And it's really cool. I'm gonna stop talking for a second, maybe you can hear a munch. You can maybe hear a little bit of their munching, but it's just so fun to just kind of sit here at the end of the day. This is normally the last task that I do in the reptile room before I shut off the lights, or the lights just kind of automatically shut off. But it's the last task that I normally do, is get the tortoises fed and watch them eat. It's just a really fun thing to do at the end of the day, is watch these tortoises eat, because it's kind of like sitting at a duck park and feeding the ducks, you know? I mean, you're just throwing out like whatever to the ducks and you're just watching them eat. I mean, same thing with these tortoises. It's fun to just kind of watch them interact and move around and do their thing, and it's just really cool. They'll come right up to you. They know you. Like I said, they can smell you. They smell the food. It's really cool to see. So I love working with them. Let me know down in the comments as well too, if you guys work with tortoises, Redfoot tortoises, if you want a Redfoot tortoise. I want to hear all of it. We're definitely going to give you guys an updated care guide as well too for these guys. I haven't given one in a couple years, and I definitely want to give one for you guys. I know you guys love that video, and I'm so happy you do. Definitely go check that out. It's full of a whole bunch of information, but I want to also update that video and put in a lot more information as well too. So thank you guys so much for all your positive feedback on that video as well. But yeah guys, these are the Redfoot tortoises in a nutshell. I mean, they are a blast. I can't wait to see these guys grow. I'm so excited to get all these guys together. I would love to get more of these guys down the line for sure. I mean, this is definitely a species I would not normally say no to. So there are other species out there that I do love as well. We also do have the leopard tortoises as well too. Great species as well. This is the first tortoise species that I have owned, and I've definitely fallen in love with these guys, that's for sure. Like I said, it all started with watching the Redfoots at Ken Harkin's Camp Ken and seeing all of his Redfoot tortoises kind of move about. It's just really cool to see all those Redfoot tortoises and how they interact. I mean, I think he has like a colony of like 30 all together. It's just super cool to see. Yeah guys, here's all the Redfoot tortoises. Like I said, we got 4 healthy, happy Redfoot tortoises. They're just living out their days right now, growing up, getting big, and I'm so excited to see these guys as full-grown tortoises. Beautiful shells on all these guys too. These ones right here are actually from my buddy Mike Novi from Rainforest Junkie. He's been working with some incredible Redfoot tortoises. We're definitely going to have to go to his place sometime soon and check it out, because he has some amazing Redfoot tortoises you definitely have to see. Definitely some showstoppers for sure. And then we have this little one over here that is from Ken Harkin. I had to get a Redfoot from him, and it is doing well as well too. It's just awesome to see these tortoises. Like I said, all these lights are on an automatic timer, so when these turn on, I see the tortoises start coming out. When I pop in the room, they're normally already awake and they're going to their own little basking areas. This time of year, I mean, it's summer right now here, so I normally have the heat lamps off during this time. It doesn't have to get super hot in here, so just the UV lights are totally fine. The UV lights are actually from VivTech. These bulbs are great. I highly recommend them. They are not a sponsor, but man, they are awesome. This is a great product for sure. So I love these setups. I think this has turned out great. And then of course the DIY foggers are from me. I've made those myself, and if you need to check those out, definitely check them out on my channel on how to build these. Super easy, super cost effective as well too, and they do the job just right. So love these foggers to death. But otherwise guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for joining me here today. And like I said, let me know down in the comments if you guys have tortoises of your own. I would love to hear that as well. If you guys have Redfoots in specific, I would love to hear how you keep your Redfoots, what you do with them. I would love to keep them outside at some point in my life. I think that would be really cool. So hopefully that happens down the line sooner rather than later. But thank you guys so much for watching me here today. If you could do me a few favors, if you could like the video and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate it, as well as hit that notification bell so you know when I upload. Definitely check me out on my social media as well too. I would greatly appreciate it. Appreciate all your guys' ongoing support. It really means the world to me. Thank you guys so much, and until next time, we will see you again soon. Take care.